Fake HOA said he took up too much space. He rolled in on a Medal of Honor. The spring air in Meadowbrook Estates was thick with the scent of blooming azaleas and simmering tension. This was a neighborhood of pristine cul-de-sacs, where every driveway held a luxury sedan and every lawn was a testament to obsessive care. At the end of Willow Circle, a single-story bungalow stood out, not for its modest design, but for the man who called it home. Isaiah Carter, a 41-year-old retired Army Ranger, had moved in 10 months ago, his arrival as quiet as the ramp that now led to his front door. Isaiah was a stocky man with close-cropped black hair, a faint limp in his gait, and a wheelchair he used on days when his prosthetic leg, fitted after a Kandahar explosion, couldn't bear the strain. His deep brown eyes carried a quiet intensity, tempered by grief and resilience, the kind forged in fire and loss. Isaiah was a creature of habit, his life a careful balance of discipline and survival. Every afternoon he'd roll onto his porch in his wheelchair, dressed in a simple Army t-shirt and cargo shorts, the Ranger tab still sewn onto his sleeve. He'd park by a small wooden table, a glass of lemonade in hand, and watch the neighborhood hum with its predictable rhythm. The t-shirt wasn't a statement. It was a tether to the men he'd led, the ones who didn't come back. A folded Army flag, tucked in a glass case by his door, was his only decoration, its stars faded but proud. Most of Meadowbrook respected his space, sensing a story too heavy for casual chatter. Most, but not Karen Hargrove. Karen was the unchallenged sovereign of the Meadowbrook Homeowners Association, a 43-year-old woman with a sleek blonde ponytail and a wardrobe of pastel blouses that screamed suburban dominance. Her voice was a calculated blend of charm and steel, her emails a barrage of bolded fonts and exclamation points. The HOA was her domain, its 52-page rulebook her crown. Isaiah's wheelchair, his t-shirt, his very presence irked her. He didn't join her book club, didn't clap at her speeches, and worst of all, he'd requested, calmly through the county, a wider parking space near his house to accommodate his wheelchair van. The request was practical, but to Karen, it was an assault on her meticulously curated order. It started with a notice taped to Isaiah's door on a warm April morning. "Dear Mr. Carter," it read in Karen's flawless cursive, "your oversized vehicle and daily attire violate HOA aesthetic guidelines. Section 7.4. Your parking space request is also deemed excessive. Comply immediately or face sanctions." Isaiah read it while adjusting his prosthetic, his jaw tight. He'd faced worse than Karen, Taliban snipers, VA red tape, the phantom pain that woke him screaming, but her words burned. Excessive. He'd given his leg, his squad, his peace for this country, and now she was measuring his worth in square feet. He crumpled the notice, pulled on his t-shirt, and rolled to his porch, flag untouched. Karen didn't take kindly to resistance. She rallied her court. Lorraine, a gossip-prone realtor, and Chad, a CrossFit coach with a man bun and a grudge against entitlement. At the HOA meeting, she waved the rulebook like a battle standard. "This isn't personal," she lied, her voice sharp. "It's about fairness. His van takes up space, his clothes are unkempt, and that flag, it's clutter. And demanding a parking spot, he's pushing special treatment." Lorraine clucked in agreement, muttering about property values. Chad flexed his biceps, nodding, but not everyone was swayed. Malik, a 32-year-old chef who lived next to Isaiah, crossed his arms. "He's in a wheelchair," he said. "The man needs room to move." "What's your problem, Karen?" Her smile tightened, but she pressed on, undeterred. The next afternoon, Karen strode to Isaiah's porch, her blouse immaculate, a clipboard her weapon of choice. He was in his wheelchair, lemonade in hand, the Ranger tab catching the sunlight. "Mr. Carter," she began, her tone dripping with condescension, "I'm sure you saw my notice. Your van is an eyesore, your attire is inappropriate, and that flag violates code. And this parking space nonsense? You're taking up resources that belong to everyone. If you can't fit in, maybe you don't belong here." "So," Isaiah set his glass down, his movement slow but deliberate. "Ma'am," he said, his voice steady but edged with steel, "this van gets me to the VA. This shirt reminds me of my men. The flag honors them. And the parking space? It's not a luxury. It's a necessity. I'm not taking anything. I'm just trying to exist. His words were a quiet thunder, but Karen didn't blink. Exist somewhere else then, she snapped. And how do we even know you're who you say? Anyone can wear a t-shirt and claim glory. Some. The accusation was a dagger, flung with reckless malice. Isaiah's eyes flickered with something raw, but he said nothing, just watched her march away, her clipboard clutched like a trophy. Meadowbrook was a cauldron, and Karen's words were the flame. The neighborhood erupted in whispers, splitting into camps. Karen's loyalists amplified her crusade, flooding the HOA's private chat with rants about community standards. Lorraine claimed Isaiah's van lowered the vibe, while Chad posted a gym selfie captioned, "Real heroes don't beg for space." But others were appalled. Malik, whose cousin was an army medic, was livid. "She called him a fraud," he said at the local diner, his voice carrying. "He's got one leg and she's whining about his van." Malik decided to fight back. He'd seen Isaiah's quiet acts, the way he'd clear storm debris from the street, the way he'd smile at kids despite his obvious pain. He recruited his sister Zara, a 19-year-old journalism major with a knack for digital sleuthing. "Dig into Isaiah's story," he told her, "not for drama, for truth." Zara, fueled by righteous anger, scoured military records, news archives, and veteran forums. What she found would turn Meadowbrook upside down. May brought stifling heat and a neighborhood on edge. Karen's campaign grew merciless. She hit Isaiah with fines, $200 a week for his non-compliant vehicle and attire. When he paid without comment, she doubled down, proposing a rule to limit oversized vehicles and ban military insignia at the next HOA meeting. The proposal ignited shouting matches. Malik stood, his voice booming. "You're punishing a man for needing a wheelchair van. You're calling him a liar when he's got scars you can't imagine. This is about your control, Karen, not the rules." Lorraine gasped, but others nodded, including Rosa, a quiet accountant who'd noticed Isaiah's careful movements. Karen's reply was ice cold. "Order matters. If we bend for him, we'll have chaos." The neighborhood was fracturing. At the community pool, arguments drowned out the kids' laughter. "Karen's lost it," Rosa said, her glasses fogging with indignation. "I saw him wince getting into that van. He's not faking." Across the deck, Lorraine parroted Karen's line. "If he's so noble, why's he causing trouble?" The lifeguard, exasperated, banned HOA debates, but the divide deepened. Isaiah kept his routine, but the toll was visible. His porch time grew shorter, his shoulders more hunched. Malik noticed the way he'd pause by the flag, his fingers tracing the glass case as if seeking solace. Zara and Malik worked tirelessly, their research revealing a man whose valor shamed Meadowbrook's pettiness. Zara found a 2013 Army Times article about Captain Isaiah Carter, who led a ranger team to secure a downed helicopter in Kandahar, saving 6 soldiers despite losing his leg to an RPG. The Medal of Honor citation was public, a rare honor for extraordinary courage. A 2016 PBS documentary clip showed Isaiah, newly in his wheelchair, speaking softly about his team. "They were my family," he said, eyes distant. "I'd do it again." Zara also found a blog post from iCarter77, written in 2017 on a veteran site. It was a raw meditation on grief, on waking to the ghosts of his squad, on wearing his t-shirt to keep their memory alive. The post was obscure, but Zara saved it, knowing it was Isaiah's heart laid bare. Malik urged her to share it, but she hesitated. "This is his soul," she said. "What if he doesn't want it out?" Malik nodded but argued, "Karen's destroying him. He deserves to be seen." They left a USB drive on Isaiah's porch, packed with evidence and a note. "We know your worth. How can we stand with you?" Isaiah found it at dusk, the drive glinting in the porch light. He plugged it into his laptop, his prosthetic aching as he read. The article, the clip, the blog post, it was like reliving Kandahar, the screams, the blood. Karen's accusations had torn open scars, but Malik's gesture was a spark of hope. He called him the next morning, his voice rough but firm. "Share it," he said. "Not for me, for them." Zara posted the evidence to the HOA chat, a detailed thread with links, scans, and the PBS clip. She ended with Isaiah's blog quote, I wear this shirt because they can't. It's not about me, it's about them. The chat detonated. Comments poured in. Shock, remorse, rage. Karen, you're vile, wrote Rosa, her words sharp. Malik added, this is who you're fining? A Medal of Honor recipient? Even Lorraine went silent, her loyalty cracking. Chad deleted his selfie, mumbling about misinformation. Karen was furious. She deleted the thread, claiming it was inflammatory, but screenshots spread like wildfire. Neighbors showed up at Isaiah's porch, not to stare, but to atone. Rosa brought empanadas, sharing stories of her bookkeeping stress. Malik organized a potluck and dozens attended, their dishes a clumsy apology. Isaiah didn't gloat. He just listened. T-shirt on, flag steady, his wheelchair a quiet throne. The fine stopped, but Karen wasn't finished. She sent a legal notice, accusing Isaiah of defamation for the public outcry. It was a desperate ploy, and it was her downfall. Meadowbrook was done with her. At the June HOA meeting, Rosa proposed a motion to remove Karen as president. The community hall was packed, the air electric with anticipation. Karen fought back, her voice shrill as she accused Isaiah of manipulating the neighborhood with his sob story. Malik stood, holding the USB drive like a grenade. Manipulating, he said, his voice a low growl. You called a hero a fraud. You fined him for needing space to live. That's not leadership. That's cruelty. Sure, he played the PBS clip, Isaiah's voice echoing, steady and haunting. The crowd stirred, then roared, applause drowning Karen's protests. Isaiah rolled to the front, his wheelchair steady despite the pain in his leg. The room hushed. I didn't ask for this, he said, his voice calm but heavy with emotion. I wear this shirt for my men, not for you. I asked for a parking space because I can't walk far. You called me excessive, Karen, but you're the one taking up space. Space for compassion, for truth. He looked at her, not with anger but with quiet scorn. You'll never understand what it means to give everything. He rolled back, and the room erupted, not in chaos but in unity. Karen fled, her ponytail bouncing, her clipboard abandoned. The vote was unanimous. She was out, replaced by Malik, who vowed to put people first. The parking space was widened within a week, its lines crisp and welcoming. Isaiah didn't celebrate. He was on his porch, T-shirt on, lemonade in hand, watching the neighborhood breathe freer. July brought warmth and a new Meadowbrook. Karen's reign was over, her house for sale, her ponytail a rare sight. She never apologized, but a note appeared in Isaiah's mailbox, typed and unsigned, I misjudged you. It was cold, but it was enough. Isaiah filed it away, next to her first notice, a relic of a battle he hadn't sought. The neighborhood transformed. Isaiah's porch became a haven, not for pity, but for connection. Neighbors brought chairs, kids played tag in his yard, and Isaiah shared stories, ranger pranks, the chaos of Kandahar, the names he'd never forget. Malik became a regular, his humor a balm. Zara, now a local hero for her research, built Isaiah a website to honor his squad, a digital shrine that drew veterans from across the nation. The turning point came in August when the mayor invited Isaiah to a 4th of July ceremony. Meadowbrook mobilized, chartering vans to the city plaza. Isaiah, in his wheelchair and T-shirt, was honored with a Community Valor Award, not for Kandahar, but for enduring Meadowbrook's prejudice. The crowd, neighbors, veterans, even a humbled Chad, stood as he accepted it, his Medal of Honor gleaming under the sun. Malik cheered, Rosa wept, and Zara live-streamed it, captioning it, This is our Ranger. Isaiah returned to his porch that afternoon, T-shirt on, flag steady. The parking space gleamed, the neighborhood glowed, and Meadowbrook felt different, less like a stage, more like a home. The T-shirt wasn't just his anymore. It was Meadowbrook's, a symbol that sacrifice could reshape even the hardest hearts. And as the sun set, casting light on the folded flag, Isaiah raised his lemonade, saluting not just his team, but the neighbors who'd finally seen his truth.